All right, so that says we're live. Let me just go ahead and recheck the YouTube to confirm. Yeah, man, I riled so many people up with that. It was so funny, man. Then people were like, "What? You're not winning money in NFL?" I'm not playing NFL, man. I'm not even watching, not doing anything. So this is a really fun slate to tackle today. We haven't like it has to be like 2 months since we've had a slate like this fun to build lineups for with so many possibilities. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that we're playing Larson. Like I'm not fading Larson today. I'm just gonna play him and build around him because if he shows up or blows a tire or whatever, like if that loses me money, so be it. But I'm not gonna try and galaxy myself out of playing the guy who's been the best on intermediate tracks on a track that's one groove in a sense or in a race where he's starting on the pole. Like for me, Larson is just a play and move on from there.
Yeah, it's you know, you're gonna have people that try to, and I've tried to do it myself. Making some lineups this morning, but the numbers he literally has not missed on mile and a half tracks this year, and even when he has missed, that team is so good at making the car better throughout the race. So if he starts off slow, he's gonna eventually get there at the end. The lowest amount of fastest laps he put up this year on low wear mile and a half is 43. So absolute no brainer. Every single one of my high dollar lineups will have Larson in it.
Yeah, and I know probably the game theory move is if you're like in single entry is to like not play Larson, but I just can't do it. So I'm just moving on from there. The real thing comes from, and I kind of touched on this in the video, is and I saw in your video this week that you didn't really like a lot of the value range. Like you didn't like the 6K, you didn't really like the 7K. Like nobody really stood out, and uh, that's something new to where like almost at least in my opinion, like I still think everybody's almost overpriced in the 6 and 7K range to where uh, you either bite the bullet and just embrace not hitting maybe like a 5x from a 6K guy and try and jam in as many 9K or 10K guys and just hoping you make it up with the fast laps and laps led. Do you think that this race sees a bunch of leaders or is it just Larson? Because I happen to think it's going to be a Larson race, very similar to Charlotte, to where maybe we have one guy pass him on pit stops, but then Larson gets by him again, like kind of like how Elliott led a little bit in the Coca-Cola 600, but it was mainly just a Larson race. I think it's very similar to that, very similar to Nashville, to where Larson ran away with that race as well. Um, how do you think this race is playing out?
I Yeah, that's a tough thing because like my projections have basically Larson top dominator. I think Hamlin second and Kyle Busch third. It's kind of has them three dom race. I can see it going that way. It's just every time we expect that to happen, it doesn't. Like
Mhm.
the times that Larson's absolutely dominated, it's kind of come out of, well, you could make a case for this other guy. Um, so I don't think it happens. I think it's going to be at least a two dominator race, and I think that's how you need to build your lineups. Um, it's a long race. It's 334 laps. I don't see him. I know you mentioned Charlotte, but um, I don't see Larson, leading this thing start to finish.
Yeah, but so these are the reasons why I think that is because it's already pretty cold, not cold, but it's in the low 70s at TMS this week, and although we're kind of going to be going into late afternoon, I don't think the temperature is really going to change a ton. And so I think
Hmm.
the racetrack is going to like however it starts, it's going to stay that way throughout the day. And I mean, personally, I think Larson runs away with it. Um, another issue that I ran into this week is I capped Larson at 100 points for fantasy because like at this
Hmm.
point it's if he does that he's already in. But if you start projecting, like say if you project like Kyle Busch to get fast laps and laps led. If you project, Denny Hamlin, if you project like Chase Elliott, even people like William Byron, if you project them to like not run away with the race, but if you just like start projecting all these guys for like six values or 6x value to where they're all like in the 60s and stuff, um, I think you kind of get into some trouble. Like, I think this is the race to where, like, if you're building lines, you narrow in on like 4 guys that you want to pair with Larson. And so for me, those 4 guys are Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Chase Elliott, including Larson. Like, those are the 4 guys I kind of want to target this week. And in a sense of building a 2-dominator lineup, I think I'm just going to be alternating those guys with Larson in lineups.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. You're on Chase. I kind of got off of Chase. Rotodoc did like a whole thread on why Chase Elliott isn't good at Texas and a couple other newly repaved tracks, and it's got me off of Chase Elliott pretty much. Like, I don't think I'm going to have any of him today. I'm really liking, like a Byron at 96 or a Blaney at 95. And even like Keselowski in that range. That's kind of where my builds are going is, Hamlin and or Kyle Busch and something like that. I'm not with you on Elliott. I think I'd rather go Truex just because Gibbs seems to have that advantage at Texas.
My thing with William Byron is I think he's very similar to Bailey Curry yesterday. And where if he ends up doing his average of like 7 dominator points a race, he's most likely going to be optimal. And he might be the most popular play. Like, I know we're all locking in Larson, but even I think if people fade Larson, you're still going to put Byron in the lineups. That's my one place I want to get different, because I feel like Larson and Byron lineups really do end up leading down like the same roads. Like, even like, say if you go Larson Hamlin Byron, if you go Larson Truex Byron, even like Larson Harvick Byron, you still end up like in the same ranges. And I don't think you can get different enough to not be duplicated in the big GPP today if you play Byron. That's my concern. I'm also concerned with Byron of like really not showing up, like just running around 8th to 7th all day and not really clicking off fast laps, because this is a 1-groove racetrack. And we typically see the top 3 drivers in running position get those fast laps just because that's like they're not really in dirty air. And you can't really find a second groove. Like we always talk about, Reddick always run the high side or always find a different groove. Like there is no second groove at Texas. It's a 1-groove racetrack. They bastardized this track, and you can't do anything. It's just run the inside and then slowly move up later in the race up to like where you're barely in the resin, but that's it.
Mm-hmm. I think people are going to go more toward Kyle Busch and Hamlin today than they are Byron. Like, I think Byron's going to come in under-owned to what he should be.
That's interesting. I don't know, man. I think Byron's chalk. Like he should be popping off in like every optimizer, every projection. Everybody, like even I project. I like today. I have Byron projected for. I'm giving him 54.45 points today. Like that would pretty much lead him to be optimal. He doesn't have to do much, and I think he's underpriced.
How many points did you say?
54.45.
Okay, I'm at 54.53.
God, which makes me, like I feel at least I feel like I'm doing things correctly when you can, confirm. That's crazy how close we're always close.
See, I have Kyle at 70.8 and Hamlin at 70.4 though.
And see, I kept all the projections down, but I still have Hamlin as the second highest projected. I have him at 66, and I have Kyle at 54.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, So you're plugging in Larson, and you're going more for maybe. I think the big thing here is how many of the top 4 starters do you play today? Because my optimal has going Larson, Hamlin, and Kyle Busch and punting with McLeod, and I'm not super comfortable with that, like as much as I was with my optimal last week, but I can see it working because you're still getting, I think my optimal has those three, and then Austin Dillon, Stenhouse, and McLeod. And that's a topic I commented on your video about, is whether this is actually punt week just because of how this pricing is. Because I can see a punt working this week because there's no value in the six. Like, I would rather go McLeod over Alfredo because it's going to be a 6-point difference if that will allow me to get, Blaney instead of Keselowski or something like that. That's a random example, but you get my point.
Yeah. I don't think we see Rex today. And so.
But McLeod's a 30th place car without Rex.
He's a 30th place car. I got him for 16 points today.
Like LaJoy sucks in this package and at mile and a half this year. McDowell is the only one I can make a case for as being a nice pivot off of Alfredo, because I think Alfredo is going to be chalked down there. I think McDowell can run top 20, which can get him there. Priest, you're not going to really trust Priest. He can get there. Custer is going to be garbage. And then by then you're getting up into the 6,400 with Bubba Wallace, and you're just hoping he finishes top 15.
Yeah, this is specifically why I did my video differently this week and showed a lot of the early projections I had for people. Was just like I legit don't know here. Right now I'm not punting in my optimizer right now, and I don't hate the lines. Like, my highest one right now is Larson, Kyle Busch, and Hamill with no punts. It just all goes back to, like, does Denny Hamlin score like 60 points, or does Denny Hamlin score like 80 points? Because if this legit rolls into like a 2-3 dominator race, well then yeah, I feel more inclined to punt. If it really stays Larson running away with it with like another secondary dominator, and then like Kyle Busch, getting some fast laps throughout this race, then I don't really want to punt. And so I think, to answer your question, I think we're on different spectrums here, but if you think that this race is going to have like 3 distinct different leaders, I think you should punt. If you don't, I think that's when you kind of make a stand in the 6K range and don't touch the 5K.
Mm-hmm. Bring up that comment about Alfredo ending up 25th.
Where are we at? All right, here we go.
So typically Alfredo's like a 26th place car. Him finishing 26th today is 18 points. McLeod finishing 31st is 14. But you're getting him at a $700 discount, which is huge today. So that's why I'm making the case for. They have BJ McLeod severely underpriced to where he's starting, and maybe even Cody Ware, but I'd rather go McLeod. Where a $700, like, that's literally the difference between Kurt Busch or let me see. It'd be the difference between Kyle Busch and Larson, or something like that, or hell, Justin Haley and Austin Dillon. But so you mentioned about taking a stand in the 6K range. I don't think the optimal today even has a driver in the sub 6K range, unless a punt works out. And the only driver I can really make a case for in the 6K range is Bubba Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
I've really liked the 7K range this weekend. I like Stenhouse. I love DiBenedetto. I like Austin Dillon. I think Reddick is going to be a popular pivot play or tournament play.
Mm-hmm.
But there were lineups I made this morning where my lowest price guy was Suarez or Stenhouse.
So you're probably using a lot of Byron and, let me guess, maybe Kurt Busch or Austin Dillon.
I actually like Keselowski. I like Austin Dillon a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even DiBenedetto.
I like Dillon a lot today. I like Reddick as well. I can see that type of build. It's actually showing me quite a bit of Christopher Bell today. Like, I didn't give him a ton of points, but it's actually wanting to use Christopher Bell for me, which was kind of shocking. Like, I'm giving Christopher Bell today 10th place with 11 fast laps. I would actually prefer Christopher Bell over Alex Bowman, and you kind of talked about it in your video as well, and I've kind of done this too. Of like Bowman is like wildly, what is it? Inconsistent. Just I'm blanking on the word, but he's not consistent at all. And he, whether it's him, whether it's his crew chief, whether it's tires, like there have been way more incidents of him not working out than working out. To whereas Christopher Bell is in that same play, but like I haven't heard anybody talk about Christopher Bell this week or even mention him at all.
Like I said, this is a Gibbs track, so if you're in that range, Bell starting 11th, if he pulls off a top 7, he gets there. He's going to put up 5 to 10 fastest laps. That's what he's done all year. I really think Gibbs has just such an advantage here.
Mm-hmm.
A couple guys. So, like, are you with me on Harvick and Chastain?
Chastain, yes. Harvick, no.
You're playing Harvick today?
I'm going to have a Harvick line because I have Harvick projected for, let's see where we're at. Given Harvick, given him 8th place with 12 fast laps. In a 300-lap race, I don't think that's crazy. And this kind of goes back to my sense of Larson running away with this is because he can easily match what Hamlin, what Kyle Busch can do if this is a Larson race. Yeah. And so, and I actually had, like, he's one of the few values that I had at 5X without any fast laps in this race at all. Like, just doing what he does each and every week, he should hit value.
I'm just not, I can see it. I guess I can see it working out if Larson runs away with it, but I don't think that's relative to what he's going to be owned. Like, he's probably going to come in mid-20s today.
Really? I didn't see that. I saw him at like 16%, 14, somewhere around there.
Even then, I think it's too high. Mm-hmm. I don't see it working out. I like you said there, he's not a top 5 car without a good final restart. And also, did you read what's his name's article on how strategy comes into play so much here? David Smith?
No, but I mean I can figure that. It's a green racetrack. Pit strategy plays a ton.
It's another reason I don't like Elliott this week, because Gustafson is just straight up mentally challenged when it comes to strategy. He is stupid. And actually, the article made the case for Hamlin. Hamlin's the best at it, and I think Kyle Busch was up there. But there's another Briscoe. Like, or do you have any Briscoe today? Because I'm.
What is this showing Briscoe at over here? I don't like him. Let's see what the no the optimizer is confirming that. I don't like him at all.
I think like he's benefited for good finishes with a late caution and a good final restart. And he hasn't particularly ran where he's those top 15s. I think he has top 15 potential, but at 79, like if I have the choice between him, Reddick, Austin Dillon, DiBenedetto, and Stenhouse, he's the last one on the list.
So going back to, I know we're talking about Briscoe right now, but I was reading the optimizer, forcing in Quinn Houff, Cody Ware, BJ McLeod, and Smithley. And it's wanting to use Cody Ware slightly more than McLeod, and it's wanting to use Quinn Houff exactly with McLeod in these lineups. So right now it was 26% Cody Ware, 25% BJ McLeod, and 25% Quinn Houff, and 16% Smithley. And the lineups that it's using min salary Quinn Houff, it has like all the studs in there. Like it's almost like a 4-dominator lineup if you believe it's a race like that. Like that's where I kind of figure I'd like to go if I was going to putt. Like I have Quinn Houff for. I still have Houff for 12. I got BJ McLeod for 16, Ware for 11, and Smithley for 13. So kind of going back to that, if you do feel inclined to punt, like I honestly don't hate Quinn Houff. If you could put in your lineup like Larson, Hamlin, Bush, even Elliott or Truex, like if you can have 4 of the top 10 starters in that line, like I don't hate that.
I'm not there on Houff. Unless you're going Elliott over Hamlin or Kyle Busch, I think you can put together a great line without going to Houff. Like him starting 30th just concerns me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to say that because I saw that there. I was waiting for this to run in the background. And then Dave, I mean, we kind of talked like it's probably worth it. Like game theory says you should at least have ownership to lineups that don't have Larson. I'm not playing enough lineups to really care about that.
Yeah, this is one of those weeks where literally he has yet to miss on the 550 package or the low or specifically at the low wear mile and a half. Like, and on the pole with, I could have made a case for it if he failed inspection, but he didn't. So Chase did, Briscoe did, and
I like Chase even more because of that. Honestly, yeah. I really do. I really do. I like Hendrick more. It makes me like all the Hendrick cars a bit more, or feel more confident in them. Like I think they can be on par with Joe Gibbs.
It's yeah. What do you think about Blaney? I feel like there's too many people talking about Blaney today.
So when I make my projections, certainly this late in the year, I look at where they're finishing in races, and I look at like really how many fast laps they're averaging. Because if you're not leading, we just have to get the Dominator points from your fast laps. And so I think Blaney finishes around 8th to 9th today. I'm giving him 18 laps led, 13 fast laps, projection of 40.35. I don't think Blaney's going to get out and lead. Because he has to first get by Larson, then he has to beat Hamlin, then he has to beat Kyle Busch in the outside lane, starting on or right off the bat. So I don't see him leading before the competition caution. I don't think he gets the lead in stage 2, and so Blaney would have to perform well above my expectations for him to be leading in this race, and I just don't see that.
I'll be shocked if Blaney doesn't finish top 5 today.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Top 6. Because every time I say something like that, they finish 6th. Mm-hmm. But I think Blaney's solid. What it comes down to is the Dominator points, and it's going to come down to whether he can lead or not. Because Penske cars don't put up fast laps. It just doesn't happen. Even when they go out there and lead, they don't put up a ton of fast laps. So for Blaney to get there, that's why I'm a little concerned with how many people are talking up Blaney this week. Is if people are talking up Blaney over Byron, that's dumb. Not playing Logano, only considering Kez because of his price and how he fits into a line. But yeah, that's I wish I'd know ownerships beforehand, but that's what worries me about Blaney. I get the pivot, but I think Hamlin and Kyle Busch are just going to be so good. But yeah, this whole line of construction comes down to what does Larson do? How much does he kick ass? Obviously, you're on the train of him. You're building lines. So are you doing any lines at all with Hamlin and or Kyle Busch with Larson?
Yeah, I'm probably going to do, like I said, I'm probably going to do 4 today, just because, yet again, these contests are pretty terrible. I'm probably going to do a Larson Harvick line. I'm probably going to do a Larson Hamlin Kyle Busch line. Probably another 3 Dominator line, and then probably another, I think that's 3. Probably another 2 Dominator line. Going back to Blaney, this is what makes me concerned about Blaney. and that's kind of why I'm harsh on him. So at the intermediate tracks this year, he's ran 33% of his laps in the top 5, 61% in the top 10. When you look at his 1.5 mile ranking this year, he's 6th fastest, and he is the 20th highest on Dominator at the 1.5s this year. His high downforce race rating is 8th. Like I think he runs like 6 and 7 today, so that's why I'm not really on Blaney, and that's how I got to my projections this week.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking up his numbers really quick. Are those numbers like? If you take out the races that he had issues though, like
That's
550.
that. Okay, sorry.
550 package, he's 6th or better in 7 of the 10.
I'm looking at Homestead, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Kansas 1, Charlotte, Atlanta 2, Michigan, Las Vegas 2, mainly.
Mm-hmm. Homestead, he had issues.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what happened at Kansas that he finished 21st. That was that fucking tire debacle.
Kansas won. He was the 9th fastest car.
He had an average running position of 7.6 and finished 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Blaney's a solid top 5 today. I think that's where we're going to differ on him, and he seems to be really good at Texas. I don't know why.
I would honestly probably play Kurt Busch over Blaney today.
I'm not seeing that.
And that's probably because I have Blaney, finishing around 8th to 7th, and I'm probably giving Kurt around probably a 10th place finish today. Yeah, give him 10.
Mm-hmm. Let me pull this up real quick. Still think I think Blaney will get enough fastest laps to cover Kurt, even if he does slip out of the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to come down to if he leads and how much, and how many. So you said you capped Larson at 100 points.
Mm-hmm.
LaJoy to the rear too. LaJoy's not good in this package or at low wear mile and a halves. I'd say top 25 would be pushing it, even if he didn't have to go the back.
So,
who's your favorite? Like, you think is going to be low owned that you would, go super heavy on, or do you think it's just ownerships are going to be so spread out that you just need to make the right picks because there's just so many ways you can go with this lineup build. It's fun, but it's also frustrating because like someone like me or someone like you, we're not putting in a ton of lineups today.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just have to take a stand and roll with your gut, I think.
Yeah, I was almost going to play less money today and just do one line, but then I just fucking kicked myself because I probably wouldn't land on the right guys. I like Elliott today.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm going to be swayed too much off of him because this is like a fucking 4-hour race. I don't have him projected to do like a ton in the fast lap realm to begin with, and I already liked him. I didn't see Elliott taking the lead probably until late in stage 3 or something. Him going to the rear is probably going to get people off of him. I like Elliott today. Mm-hmm. So Elliott would probably be my guy. and I would probably try and be underweight on Byron. I'm still going to play Byron, but I'll probably be under the field on him.
He's definitely like, he's the one I'm struggling with the most because I think he can run top 5. I think he can get fast laps like he's done this year. But did he get fastest laps earlier this year because he always started up front? And like he's right there with. It's going to be the ownership game. Like I really like Hamlin and Kyle Busch today. I like Byron, and I almost like Blaney more than Byron.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you there on being underweight on. I don't think Byron's going to be as chalky as you do, but I think he's definitely going to get ownership. So I like being underweight there.
I think Byron hits like 29% ownership today.
You do?
I think he does. I think he's in a little over quarter of the lines.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be surprised. I forget what I haven't projected at. I got him at 22. So yeah.
Because man, if he shows up, he's optimal. That's really all it is. I think it's easy. It's easier to project Byron to either show up and be optimal or just not show up and not be optimal than a lot of these other drivers.
Mm-hmm. Are you touching anyone else in the 6K range other than Bubba? Or where's your thoughts on that? Maybe Suarez?
Can't do Suarez. What is he at? He's starting 19th. That's terrible. Can't do Haley. Can't do Jones.
Yeah. I don't know why DraftKings has such a hard on for Haley lately, but
man, they love him, man. I don't understand it at all. Bubba is like the only play there. Like I hate everyone under $6,900 is projected to look terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't remember a slate to where half the player pool right off the bat is just ugly projection wise. Like I think it's Bubba. And so if that's the case, like if everybody's kind of agreeing that hey, this range is bad, everybody's good. Like Bubba might be like not like projection wise or ownership wise chalk, but like he might just be the chalk play at the bottom half of the salary tier, which also scares me. Like Bubba, because a lot of my optimal lineups earlier in the week had Larson, Byron, and Bubba, and I think a lot of lineups are going to have those guys. And if they don't have one, they're going to have the other between Wallace and Byron, and so I am kind of concerned about that.
What kind of ownership you think? What about Stenhouse? I think Stenhouse is going to be the chalk down there, too. Like I think a lot of people are going to start building and they're going to throw Larson on there and then they're going to throw Stenhouse on there, and then kind of go from there.
And see, I think this is a week where a lot of people build from the top down, even if you're hand building.
Mm-hmm.
Like you take a Larson with driver A or B of the 9 and 10K range, and you end up in the 6K range right off the bat.
Yeah.
And so, like, what do you have Stenhouse projected for? I'm giving him 31 points today, 31.5.
37.
So you have him probably around 17th, 18th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I got him at 20th and 21st. So which I think you're overpaying for him. Like I think you can upgrade other plays there. So maybe the punt range, maybe punting does make more sense if you either want to use Dylan and Reddick as like your 7K plays, just avoid the 6 and 5 together and then stack it. Like that might be a more optimal way to go.
It's rare for there to be a week when I'm thinking punting is the option and you're not, but I think you're coming around.
I think I am. I probably, but man, remember who was it last time when it was like punt week and the punt hit like 15% ownership or something?
Joey Hand at the Charlotte Roval.
No, like a legit punt in the 4K. I don't remember what race it was.
It might have been Dover. Well, the last time I punted was Dover, and I had Half.
Yeah,
I won some money that race.
let's see. I think Half. It may have been Nashville, but I'm pretty sure there was another instance as well, because I know Half was pretty chalk at Nashville, and then his crew member got fired because they didn't attach the wheel. But I'm pretty sure there's another. So that's another issue with like punting. Like I don't want to punt if BJ McLeod. I don't want to play BJ McLeod if he's going to be like 15% ownership. Like that's insane.
I see. I don't think he gets there. I think he gets about 5.
Yeah, man, but man, I can.
BJ McLeod hits 15% ownership.
What do you? If people are consider, I probably need to watch Phil's live show to see what because he usually has a good feel if it's punt week or not.
It was Nashville. Good memory. Half came in at 13.68. McDowell was 13.63 and LaJoy was 12.5.
Dude, I cannot play these punts so if I have to play sub 2% Garrett Smithley. Like I can't. I hate chalk punting. There's no way I'm playing the chalk punt. Like there's absolutely no way. Yeah, 4,500. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you are in here, Phil. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was trying to figure out the ownership. But man, that's. And then I think Half would have worked there, but everybody shit on Half because his wheel came off, and Half had nothing to do with that. But yeah, like. So do you want to play BJ McLeod if he's at? Well, you're playing high dollar, so I don't know if he's going to be like that.
I think there's more chance he'll be higher owned in high dollar than he will be in the big tournaments.
That's true.
But yeah, this must be like the shitbox week for me because I have money on Cody Ware, like betting wise too. Like this is
was that like a top 30, top 25?
No, it was to win his group versus Balicki, Half, and Timmy Hill. And they had Ware at plus 240.
That's funny.
And like the only one that could possibly compete is Half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not bad. I think people hate when we talk about punts, man. They hate it, but
it makes sense this week. Like
I think it does.
With Larson priced at where he is, and with so much value in that mid-9 range, I'm 100% on board with stuffing the good guys. We are in the last 4 races of the season. These playoff drivers are probably going to run 1 through 8 if Byron doesn't get up there. Or I'll take that back. Logano's probably going to suck ass because he's sucked ass at the 550 and low wear tracks this year, all year. But like Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Elliott, Truex, Blaney, like they're all going to Larson, they're all going to be up there. The only thing that's going to derail them is if they have an issue, if they have a bad pit stop, if they, blow a tire, which I just don't see that happening today. I don't see a lot happening. I think these are going to, whoever gets it on the restart is just going to run away with it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see much passing for the lead, really. I think it's all going to be on pit road today.
Are you going back and looking at any data from the All-Star race?
No, I can't, man, because they maybe. I mean, if you want to look at like how the restarts played out, but like we don't have the field size. We had inverting the field nearly every caution. Like when you look at the amount of people who got where is it? Let's see, it was 100 lap. Like when you look at the place differential plays that work there, like Blaney started 17th, finished 5th, but like that was due to the inversion. You had Keselowski going from 9th to 2nd, inversion. Bowman, Eric Amarola. Like I don't think that's a reliable source of info, honestly.
And like I'm just like I got the data pulled up now, and it's all fucked up. Like you go to fastest on restarts, and Chase Elliott is number 1 at 131.8, and then next best is Chastain at 120.9. Like even the data is just completely fucked.
NASCAR doesn't care, man. Like it's really bad on weeks when the Cup Series isn't at a track, and we're pulling data for like lap data for like trucks or something. Like it's almost always screwed up.
Mm-hmm. If I remember right, like Larson was the only one that could really pass there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wanting to, like, if I'm punting, I'm not leaving salary on the table. Oh my god, dude! This thing put together a lineup with both Cody Ware and Quinn Houff. Oh my god, that's funny. Killer 4 drivers though, but no way in hell I'm doing that.
Do you like DiBenedetto as much as I do today?
I don't think I'm on him nearly as much as you are.
I'm on him an uncomfortable amount so far.
I got him. I'm giving him 12th place today, man. I can't do it. His life is falling apart, man. Like he's not mentally stable.
He found God.
He's
and
cracking.
That's gonna get him. Man. It's going to get him to victory lane today.
Oh my Lord! Like nothing screams. And this is not. I'm not shitting on religions at all. This is like believe whatever you want to believe in. But personally, for me, nothing screams that a man is going through a lot of mental turmoil than finding Jesus randomly and saying that you're not going to drive for somebody who won't let you share. Like when did you become religious, DiBenedetto? When did that become a priority in your life to speak your mind about that type of stuff? Like I haven't heard that once the entirety of your career.
This is not the sport where you get censored for being a Christian.
Yeah, like that's
I do like the fact that he finished 4th at Kansas and finished 6th at Michigan, which same tires or same whatever tires. And he's really good at restarts. Like the reason Cole Custer won at Kentucky was because DiBenedetto pushed him. Like he's stupid good at restarts. So yeah, I think, like I said, I'm uncomfortably high on DiBenedetto today, especially kind of as a pivot off of Stenhouse.
Yeah.
Like I have no problem running this line. Larson, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, DiBenedetto, Austin Dillon, McLeod, and calling it a day.
Yeah. I don't know. I just can't get behind DiBenedetto to do a ton. I feel like lowest I want to go in the 7K range is either Stenhouse or Dillon.
Yeah.
And I'm not that high on Stenhouse. What do you think about Newman? I think Newman comes in high owned.
I don't think he comes in high owned, and for that reason, I kind of like him. I think he's going to be about 15-20%.
Okay. So, because it seems like entering this week, I thought Byron is going to be owned. I thought Newman was going to be owned like a ton.
Mhm.
If Newman is not going to be owned, then I might end up playing him in all my lines because I kind of saw him as a guy who's going to probably run inside the top 20 today. Um, Easily hit value.
You think Newman's inside the top 20 today
Yeah,
without
like
any
I mean,
wrecks?
my projection is I'm giving him 21st right now. But if Newman is actually going to race well, which we've seen him do pretty decent at the intermediate tracks this year, like I might want to be overweight on Newman because you can build so much with Newman.
Mhm.
22nd rank on the 1.5 miles this year. Uh, let's see, 22nd in the high downforce. Especially if you look back at ever since the repave. I know it's in different cars, but he hasn't finished outside of the top 20. Going back to the spring of 2018, that's a 27th place finish. But this new repave, like I actually really enjoy rewarding consistency. And so, like you have Newman who's really consistent, you have Harvick who's really consistent, and you have Kurt Busch who have been really consistent.
Mhm.
Um,
So I kind of want to know why you hate Suarez then, because Suarez has been pretty consistent.
I don't like the car, man. At intermediate tracks this year, they've ran into issues nearly every intermediate track, and he's starting 19th. Like, I think a
He
good
was
day for. Go ahead.
he was 11th at Kansas, 15th at Charlotte, and 15th at Vegas too, and 15th at Homestead.
Yeah, but he's starting 19th, man. That doesn't give us not a lot of meat in the bone for that. Let's go ahead and I'm giving him 18th right now. Let's give him 14th. It's like 35 points.
I don't think he's a slam dunk, but if I'm not going Stenhouse, I think I'm going Suarez before I go Newman.
I think I go Newman. Let's really analyze this in race ratings because I think Newman's averaging like a 21st race rating. Las Vegas, 22nd fastest. Darlington 2, 18th fastest. Michigan 2, 22nd. Atlanta 2, 23rd. Poconos 24th, 32nd. Nashville's 19th, but a different package. 20th at Charlotte, but he blew a tire there. Darlington won 15th. Kansas won 23rd. That's about as far as I want to go back. Let's check out his finishing positions. 20th Las Vegas, 14th Darlington, 24th Michigan, 28th at Atlanta. Like, I don't understand how Newman finishes this poorly. That's like Cole Custer levels.
That car, I think, has just gone to complete shit.
Like, it seems like Newman's like something falls apart. Like, either in the plan, like he wrecked last week at the Roval, doing God knows what.
Mhm.
Um, Man, I haven't played Newman since like probably the Coca-Cola 600.
Mhm.
But like if I start building lines with Newman, I like what I can do a lot. And I thought he'd be popular. I honestly did. Entering this week, I thought he'd be popular. So maybe it's time to go Garrett Smithley, Ryan Newman, and then call it a day.
Oh God.
Well,
That's a good point.
yeah, Newman needs to retire.
Yeah.
But
I saw tweets today like, "Oh, he's still getting ride offers. He's still looking for ride. Why? Like, why? Get the hell out of here."
I think so. Same thing needs to be said with Harvick. I mentioned this little this week too, but there's an argument to be made that Harvick never wins again in this series
Mhm.
with how these cars are going. And like the value that was lost really this year with R&D for Stuart Haas. Like, I mean, that's why Harvick was pissed at Elliott so much, because I think Harvick saw Bristol as his one chance this year to get a win.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people were reporting on that enough.
Do you think that feud's over?
I don't
You
think
think,
Harvick cares, honestly. Like, I think he has nothing to lose.
because I thought about that when news about Elliott broke. He's gonna have to get around Harvick now to get through the field.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I mean, I don't think
I don't think
it's
he's
like,
gonna wreck him.
uh,
I think he might bump him at Martinsville.
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna let him get by very easily. You know,
Yeah.
he'll pull a Newman and just block his ass off.
Yeah.
Chase ain't gonna dump him. He's too much of a pussy to do that.
They're all pussies, man. Like, I don't understand this feud. Like, I don't get it.
I love how NASCAR came down and said, this isn't allowed. We're going to continue showing it every week, but this isn't allowed. Like, you realize you need this for the sport. You need something.
Mm-hmm.
It's
because it's Elliott, man. They baby Elliott. They take care of it. Like, they legit do. They pondered to the 9 car. I don't know what's more obvious than the Roval.
Than last week, yeah.
Like that yet again. I like Elliott deep in the playoffs, especially from last year. Like, a tinfoil hat on, man. But I like Elliott in the playoffs, man.
I will say, I think this whole round is going to be really fun, especially if Larson wins today.
Mm-hmm. He
gets locked in, and all of a sudden it's all about points, and all of these guys are right there. This is setting up to be a really solid. That's why, like, do you think any of these guys will go kamikaze strategy and try to steal a win today?
If it goes green, no. I don't think you can't afford to do that if it goes green.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do we see what Hendrick did at Vegas again? Just stupid.
I can't fathom how this team even did that. Like, I don't know how you managed to be that stupid. And if you do it again, like, I have no faith in that organization at all. Like,
do you remember Coca-Cola 600 last year?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, there was a caution. I remember it well because I was winning like 15,000 at with 3 laps to go. Caution comes out. Gustafson pits Elliott on a track where tires don't matter.
Yeah, I think
he restarts 19th. I am convinced that Gustafson is the head of strategy at Hendrick Motorsports, and he just makes everybody around him dumber.
I don't understand why these teams don't have strategists. Like, they make the crew chief do everything. Prepare the car, be in charge of the pit crew, hire who they want, and then they have to run the... Like, give Chris Rice, or whoever colleague's president is, give him a lot of shit because he's always on TV, but he does the strategy part of the race. Like, that's all he does. Like, he's not putting more pressure on his crew chiefs. RCR has their, AI robot telling him what to do. But I don't understand how these teams mess up strategy mid-race. Like, when you could just hire somebody to specifically just focus on strategy for the 3 hours. Like, that's it. Don't let them talk about anything else. Just be like, yeah, pit here. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Yeah. Just like yesterday, I think Gibbs as an organization is far and above everybody else when it comes to strategy. Just like yesterday in the Xfinity race. Ty Gibbs won that race, or not Ty Gibbs. John Hunter Nemechek won that race because they got 2 tires and ended up on the front row. Like, why Hemrick's team, another Gibbs team, but why Hemrick's team did not get 2 tires there is beyond me. Like, you had to restart on that front row. You had to think that somebody was going to stay out. Plus, by the time you got to your pit box, you knew that Harrison was staying out. Like,
Harrison stayed out. Like, I don't know why he stayed out there. Like, he's just going to drop like a rock.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
But yeah.
I've talked myself into Newman. I think that's my biggest takeaway of this discussion. Like, honestly, like, I thought I like Elliott. I like Newman. I like punting off of BJ McLeod. I think that's what I've learned the last hour.
I'm a big BJ McLeod fan today. Don't know how I feel about that, but I might end up with a Larson, Elliott, Kyle Busch line.
You can't get Hamlin in that.
You can, but I so
because if you could not say the lines that I'm thinking about running, that'd be great. That's why
I've already said my optimal. I've already said my optimal for today, according to my projections. So it's just like a minor pivot off of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got me more talked into Elliott than I thought I would be.
Yeah, at least I appreciate all the 56 guys listening right now. I appreciate you spending time with us and not football streams. I like races like this where I can kind of make my stands known. Like I like Elliott today.
Yeah. He's my biggest question mark. Like I haven't changed my mind on really anybody today, but him I'm kind of considering. And also, like, something keeps pointing me back to Truex. Starting 8th, Gibbs car. I don't hate it.
Let me take a gander. It's kind of odd seeing Hamlin not in a FedEx car today.
Oh, he's in that Craftsman car, ain't he?
Yeah.
I don't have the breakdown for him, FedEx versus his other ones. Like I do Truex.
It has to be so rare. Like I don't remember him not being in I think he ran one time this year.
It was New Hampshire. He was running well, and then like he's done it probably more than you realize because he ran that auto pad or whatever, that orange car, ugliest damn car I've ever seen.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of. Him and Burton ran them together.
Yeah.
I like Hamlin more to get fast laps than laps led than Truex.
I agree there.
Hamlin has, I mean, I actually really like this line I just made. I'll probably end up playing it. Has Hamlin in it. But like when you look at Hamlin this year, like it's him and Larson really the top two fastest guys at these tracks.
And
consistently.
I think you got to throw Kyle Busch in there too.
Yeah, I just feel like Kyle. Let's see. Really, let's.
So, this could be a question that a lot of people are debating: Hamlin or Kyle Busch, and is there a significant difference between the two? I know your projections probably say Hamlin, if I remember right.
Yeah, but when you look at the top 5 and top 10 percentage of laps ran in those positions, like Homestead, Vegas, Atlanta, those like 7 races that I mentioned earlier. Hamlin's at 49% top 5. Kyle Busch is at 52. When you look at top 10s, Hamlin is 76%. Kyle Busch is 74%. But when you look at the amount of fast laps that Hamlin is getting over Kyle Busch, that's what pushes me towards Hamlin a bit more.
But just looking at low wear tracks this year, so the 4 low wear races, Kyle Busch 98 fastest laps, only 23 laps led. I like looking at this percentage. Hamlin 71 fast laps, 194 laps led. That's my case for Kyle Busch. Mm-hmm. Plus starts one spot further back. He's not Denny Hamlin. That's just a casual point. Like Denny Hamlin fucking sucks. Would love to see Hamlin wall it on on lap 4. Yeah, lap 3 for Dale. But
there you go. I like it. And see, you're getting. I'm turning you more into a. You've gotten more extreme after you've listened to me, man. And I think that's good. I think that's good.
So, do you see? Excuse me. Do you see anybody outside of Larson, Kyle Busch, or Hamlin winning this?
Realistically, no. I'd throw Elliott in that again, but I don't think he wins the race. I think it's one of those 3 guys that you mentioned.
It's so difficult for me to see anybody else without craziness happening. Like, even if craziness happens, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, and then whoever has an issue will go up and win it. Like, to me, and that's what makes this slate so fun, is because the 3 heavy favorites are starting 1, 2, 3, and it's very it goes against your natural thought process of stacking those guys starting up front. But then you have 334 laps today. I think it's going to be about 300 to 305 laps are going to be green. So we're looking at significant amount of dominator points. That's why I don't hate the build of going 1, 2, 3 or 3 of the top 4. I really don't. Also, bets. Yeah, check out my betting article. I have a lot of bets I like today. I'm feeling really good about my betting card.
Yeah, you've been killing it with your bets lately.
Mm-hmm. I've been on a hot streak in DFS. I'm up over 15,000 in the last 4 weeks.
That's why I don't understand why more people don't watch this. Like, you're literally a King of the Speedway qualifier this year. This is a free stream. Like, nowhere else are you listening to somebody who's playing those contests for free.
Yeah, like most of these weeks, including King of the Speedway, including last week at Charlotte, I literally said the lineup I'm running. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm as transparent as they come, and yeah, I don't get it. But hey, for those that are listening and watching, appreciate it. Hopefully, we can continue this hot streak going.
Yeah, I got 4 races left in the year.
For me, it's 3 races because I am so awful at Phoenix. It's not even funny. I don't think I've ever profited at Phoenix. Like, I don't plan on playing it all this year. Especially if Truex makes the Final Four, because I have a ton of bets on him to win the championship.
Oh, really? Okay.
And a ton of bets on him to make the Final Four. So,
yeah, I don't know how I'm going to cover that week.
Oh yeah, you're going to it.
Yeah, I'll be there all weekend, so I don't know how I'm going to do that exactly. I'm sure I'm going to do it because I'll be making projections and stuff, but it'll have to be like late at night, nights before the races.
Yeah, I put a disclaimer on every one of my Phoenix posts saying, I suck at this track. Go ahead and listen to somebody else. Because I have yet to put together a decent line. I did almost
this year.
I was doing decent this year. I was qualifying for King of the Speedway at Phoenix this year, and then Bubba put Cole Custer into the wall and just killed my lineup.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I remember that. I think I had Bubba that race, and I was like, "Yeah, more place differential points. Take out your competitors." Oh man, these guys are terrible, man. Like, So yeah, I guess summing up, I like the idea of playing Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Larson together. I like playing Harvick, I like playing Harvick. I like playing Larson with 1 or 2 of the guys you think are going to lead laps, whoever that may be, for whoever's listening. I think we're going to have I think there's a good chance that lineups are duplicated unless you can get different in your value range. So either the 7K range or punting. I think that's your best way to get independent in your lineup construction.
I'd agree. I'm with you there on, Larson, Hamlin, Kyle Busch. I'd kind of throw Blaney in there. Not there with you on Harvick. With you on punting. Who's your ultimate do not pick this week? Excluding
Bowman.
punts. Bowman?
Yeah.
Mine's Logano. And I'll have 0% Chastain today.
So I'm glad that you brought that up because I need to make a note to myself on this. So I'm going to highlight, I don't know if I'm going to use Bell, but I'm going to highlight Bell as a guy that I like to try and get my lineups different. As I said, I like Newman as well. Those seem to be the two guys that I'm kind of most comfortable taking a risk on because I don't think they're going to be owned at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in the same line, but as like your one pivot on line, I like those two guys and Elliott. But you already know I'm playing Elliott.
Who were the two? Bell and
Bell and Newman.
With you there on Bell. I also like something sticking out to me with Kez. I don't know why. I think it's just the allure of getting a playoff driver starting or at 8,500. But that's really, he's going to have to lead a little bit. He ain't getting fast laps.
Yeah.
Kurt Busch, he has what, 7 straight top 10s at Texas or something stupid? 7 the last 8?
Not consistent. Yeah, he is mad consistent. His last, 8 finishes 7th, 8th, 9th, 9th, 7th, 7th, 9th, and 10th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's probably one that I'm overlooking today. Busch and a punt over Newman and Briscoe. Darren.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Briscoe.
Are people actually going to play Briscoe today at 79?
I think they are, man. I think they are. What do we got till the race? We got 2 hours. This is probably a week where I do want to try and listen to as many shows as I can in the next 2 hours. But I do think people are going to go to Briscoe.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun to see what ownerships end up at. I might use Cody Ware today as that punt. I don't hate that. I like it more than Half.
Depends what line I can make with it. I think maybe Smithley too. But I don't know. I think BJ is going to be chalk in that range, man, and I do not like playing chalk punts at all. That's gross. Because, dude, I've had so many questions this week about punting, and so I know everybody's thinking of doing it. I know everybody's going to be doing lines with it, and they're going to go BJ because he's the only good play in that range.
Cody Ware, I think, has very similar upside to McLeod. So, as weird as it sounds to say a pivot off of BJ McLeod, it would be Ware. Oh man! But if I'm relying on Cody Ware on my betting card and DFS, shoot,
you might as well just embrace it if you're already. It's Cody Ware week, I guess, for you.
I can't. He's going to be the one that doesn't even get off the starting grid. Car doesn't even start.
Yeah, I think it's Warehouse for me.
I think you have a soft spot for Half.
I do, man. I hate to see him go.
This
And I
is
don't love to watch him leave, but man, I
it's
like
kind
that
of
star
like
car.
I was like that with Cole Witt just because he was a redhead.
Yeah, I like his cars. I like the 72 when he drove that. I liked how they looked.
Yeah. This is where he tried to pit from the top of turn 4.
Oh, he did.
Right in front of the whole field.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh man, I love him.
This track
He's
brings back memories.
when you really do look, and this is not creating a case to keep Half in the Cup Series, but he really is most improved of these cars back here, of these drivers back here.
I'd agree with that.
He learned a ton over the last 2 years. I guess 3 years really. I can't believe they took him. They took Landon Castle out of this car for Half, man. What a Half must have a crap ton of money.
Yeah. Unless Castle just said, I'm done. Because he's running full-time Xfinity this year, ain't
Yeah, he's got all them crypto cars, and they keep
he?
breaking down.
What about my boy David Starr? Are you going up in that range?
Too expensive, man. Part of me, okay, so I wanted to see if Timmy Hill could work, because this is the second time this year MBM has attempted to start this 13 car. They tried it at the 500. I think this is Carl Long looking at a race where, hey, we could maybe start and park both these cars and get some money for next year.
I just hope they don't affect this race with how slow they are.
Hill won't. Star, he will.
He did
This is
yesterday,
this is home
inadvertently.
this is hometown track for Star. Dude, when that car went on pit road, I was like, is Star on fire? Why is nobody talking about this? Like, I see in the background they got fire extinguishers going on, the hood's up. I was like, is he on fire? Where are the reporters at? Like, this car is clearly on fire. What is going on in the pit road here?
They do not care about David Starr. But then he boxed in like Gregson or something at the same time. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't his fault. His car's on fire. I get it, but it's just funny that he took out one of the leaders again.
dude, wherever he goes, he's just in trouble, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I put money on there being a caution with 20 laps to go today, and being David Starr spins it out or puts it in the wall.
Yeah, that's not crazy, man. I've never seen MBM promote a car as much as they've been promoting David Starr, or David Starr promoting a car as much as he's promoting this Cup race today.
Really?
Well, this is his hometown track, so we got the hometown narrative. Apparently, he has like a real sponsor this week for the 66 car. It's Connect Us Wireless Communications. Just begging for a disaster. Let me bring this up. Put this on the screen.
How the hell this guy doesn't have me blocked on Twitter yet is beyond me.
Yeah, there's no way a disaster doesn't happen with this man today. There's no way, dude. It's just a disaster waiting to happen. Somehow,
Look at that. Look at that.
It's like a meme, man.
He's going to take out Kyle Larson on lap 154.
First time he laps him, he takes him out. Like, this is just bad juju, man. I do not trust this 66 at all today. Something's going to happen. He's putting way too much attention to himself.
Hey, at least it's red, white, and blue. I don't see, I still don't see how Whataburger sponsors him in the Xfinity.
He has to know a guy. Like, it has to be like a family connection or a friend connection. Because like Whataburger doesn't. Well, so I don't know if you ever eat there or whatnot, but
I've never eaten there. I don't even know if they have them here.
They're more of a south and southwest, like from I think Louisiana to Arizona. and I think Nevada, some spots. So it was a family-owned company until like maybe 4 years ago, and they sold to a big company out of Chicago, and they've completely changed. Not like the recipes; it doesn't taste the same, but like the buildings have changed, their identity has changed, their commercials have changed, and so I don't know how Star even still has connections in Whataburger because the whole thing was changed. And there's no way the new owners of Whataburger want to waste money with David Starr. I mean, he keeps giving away like free tumblers every week on Twitter. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, this is a Ponzi scheme if there was ever one. Like,
I will give him this. Like him being such a shitbox and getting in the way so much, I can guarantee he's the most viewed shitbox car on TV screens. Like he gets the most exposure.
mm-hmm.
That's probably why he does this shit on purpose.
Yeah, man. I guess any exposure is good exposure, man.
Yeah.
I think he goes a lap down, lap 8 today.
Lap 8?
I'm saying lap 8. What do you think?
I'm going to give him to lap 14.
Okay. It's like
I'm gonna be keeping track of this now.
We will, man. You can tweet at me lap 8 or lap 13, whatever happens.
Brandon's got 8. I got 14.
Yeah, that's so funny. We're talking about David Starr. What do you guys think? There's 54 of you listening. When do you think? When do you think this man here goes a lap down today? Oh man.
We could run a contest. When does the first lap he goes a lap down, and how many total laps down he is?
Oh, how many total? Ooh, okay. Let me take this off the screen. I got to do some research. We'll end the show there. We'll have some fun because. Let me look real quick. What is he averaging this year? It has to be a ton. Lap 12, lap 11. What else do you guys think? When does Star go a lap down today? See, this is what I like doing. Like, some other streams will be like, type in this to possibly get a code for a discounted week. We're just wanting to know when David Starr goes a lap down.
So he was only 18 laps down at Bristol. 124 laps down at Nashville, and 31 laps down at Charlotte. I'd say Charlotte's probably the most comparable. I wanted to look up that 13 car too. So he was in the 13 car at Nashville, and that's when his brakes went out, and he finished 170 laps down. Yeah, it didn't qualify for Daytona. So Nashville's the only race.
Yeah, that's when Smithley tried to wreck the field.
See, like, this would have been a great week for DraftKings to like go super low price on Timmy Hill and David Starr, and all of a sudden they become the chalk punts. Despite because like people won't look that their cars are
David
even
Starr's
below
53 years old. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he was that old.
Really? He's got that boomer mentality of not getting the fuck out of the way.
I knew he's been racing since like the 90s, but it never clicked to me that he's in his mid 50s. Oh, he doesn't give a shit anymore. That's why he does whatever he does.
Oh, two-car battle for the lead. Come to the end of the stage. I'm gonna run right in the middle of the fucking track. Fuck both of you.
I please, Jay, just donate that money to us. Like, don't play Star in a line today.
Please don't. Please don't.
Lord. For shits and giggles, I don't give a fuck if it's in the 25-cent. Don't do it.
Him or Timmy Hill. Like, starting parks don't exist, but these two are gonna start in park today.
Yeah, they are, man. Like
breaks.
It'll be like vibration.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're gonna call it there. Thank
Yeah.
you guys for.
What's your total laps? Or how many laps down? What's your guess?
I'm gonna say 23.
I'm gonna go 26.
Okay. Wait, so I have him going down a lap sooner, but you have him going down more laps.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll roll with that. All right, guys. You guys have a good day. Enjoy if you're watching the NFL, enjoy that and enjoy the Cup Series race later. And thanks for tuning by, stopping by, and watching us.
Good luck.